At this time, I'll open the meeting for discussion. Anyone wishing to be heard on any item that doesn't have to be on the agenda? Is there anyone wishing to be heard? Good evening, Mr. Brunner. You know the rules. If you could speak your name and address into the microphone, and please print your name and address for the clerk. Thank you.
Don Brunner, 20 Redmond Drive. Could you all just explain more of what is being done in that resolution 76, 2010? I've read it a couple times. I just don't understand.
Go ahead.
I can try.
I can't see it.
The Borough of Chatham and the Borough of Madison jointly operate a sewer treatment facility that's located in Chatham Borough. And there is a program that the state runs called the New Jersey Environmental Infrastructure Trust that had a loan program for zero interest component for a portion of the financing and low interest for the remainder of a portion of the program to do a project. And there was a proposal by the Joint Meeting Board that was jointly approved by the Borough of Madison and by the Borough of Chatham through our respective representatives to do approximately $2.1 million worth of improvements on the project. When the state and the funding is allocated, we pay 65.50% of the cost of running the joint meeting, and when funds are borrowed, we borrow and are responsible for 65.5% of any amount of the principal and interest over the term of the loan, and the Borough of Chatham pays the difference. When the state structured the loan, they were not as aware of the uniqueness of the relationship of a joint meeting, and when they set up approval for the 0% funding, the way they allocated the funding, they allocated 50-50 to each town, even though we were responsible for a greater percentage. So when the loan closing was scheduled, if it had gone through the way it was structured, the Borough of Madison would end up having a greater percentage of the loan be interest-bearing than the grant component should have been. So we requested an alternate approach. The state came up with an alternate approach which allowed the initial closing to take place with the understanding that a supplemental loan at a low interest would be provided to the Borough of Madison for the differential between the amount that should have been in the first loan closing. That's what this is, which is a $400,000. I believe it's 3.377% interest on this portion of the loan. I know it's a confusing explanation, but basically this will be a $2.1 million program of rehabilitation at the joint meeting. Madison will be responsible for 65.5% of repaying the loan. The Borough of Chatham would be 34.5% or 33.5%, whatever the differential is up to
34.5%.
and that's what this is.
Okay. Then on Resolution 77, when do you all expect the teen center to be ready at the YMCA?
Well, we have to strike the contract first with the YMCA. This was a resolution to allow the drawing of a contract. So
Okay.
we'll be.
Do you have any idea when the contract?
I mean, the employees are on payroll through April 1st, so the goal would be is to negotiate with the help of the borough attorney the relationship with the Y. The Y is ready to go. Their program's in place. It's just we now need to have the funding commitment through the contract in place, establishing the hours, the compensation. A number of comments were circulated today to the borough attorney with some suggestions on refinements to the contract over how the structure of the transaction. And I'm assuming at the next meeting, if it's not resolved this evening, that Joe will work with the director of the Teen Center and the Y leadership, excluding Bob Connolly, to confirm the relationship in a written agreement, and the program will start sometime shortly after April 1st.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Is there anyone else wishing to be heard? Seeing none, is there any unfinished business? May I have the voucher totals, please?
Public safety, $18,264.93. Health and public assistance, $1,567.48. Public works and engineering, $186,704.14. Community affairs, $3,294.51. Finance and Borough Clerk, $3,181,252.36. $0.03, and utilities, $25,399.57. Total is $3,416,482.66.
I move the vouchers for approval.
Second.
Is there any questions or anything needs to be held out? Would the clerk please call the roll?
Ms. Bailey?
Yes.
Mr. Conley?
Yes.
Mrs. Sukamoto?
Yes.
Dr. Esposito?
Yes.
Mr. Cerciolo?
Yes.
Mr. Lynx?
Yes.
Under new business, I have one vacancy on the planning board, and I appoint Carmela Vital to fill the unexpired term of Gregory Reed through December 31, 2012. Move for adjournment? Move for adjournment.
I move to adjourn.
Thank you. We will go back into executive session for 4 items.
For a mess up 2 years ago, you would have been done sooner.